My child, the truth must be told right now. Not tomorrow, not later, not when you feel ready, not when life becomes easier or quieter. Now is the time for me to speak because this moment is fleeting and won't come back the same way. These words hit you hard because your spirit knows it's important. You would be gone by now if you really didn't need me in your life. You would not have given it a second thought as you scrolled by. However, you are still here because of something more important than just being curious. This moment was planned for a long time before you got here. And you don't understand how important it is. If you're okay without me, please skip this. If you think you can handle your life on your own, skip this. Please do not read this if you are happy with the way things are, even if they are empty, heavy, and slowly draining you. But if you're tired in a way that sleep can't fix, if your soul is hungry even though your life seems full, and if you have a quiet ache that no distraction has been able to quiet, then stay. You should stay because not everyone will like this. Stay because this is for people who are done pretending. This message isn't for everyone. It's not for people who want peace without truth, comfort without change, or blessing without giving up. It's for people who feel like they can't move past who they were and become who they were meant to be. For people who know they're missing something, but can't put their finger on it. It's for people who have tried to move forward but feel like something is getting in the way. This is for people who are ready for breakthrough but are afraid of what they will have to give up in order to get there. It's not by accident that you are still listening. I didn't let this moment just happen to find you. You are right where you need to be in life right now. I can see the fork in the road in front of you. Even if you haven't said it yet, now is the right time for me to tell you the truth because your life is about to change. There are times when I need to whisper and times when I need to speak clearly. Now is one of those times. Take the time to listen. This is not just background noise. Do not just let these words pass over you. Let them enter you. What I'm about to say will separate those who are ready to change from those who are not. People who are ready to face the truth will be split off from those who would rather be safe. What was hidden will be shown not to make you look bad but to save you. I know that you want to tell yourself that this is just another message. When the truth hurts, I know how quickly the mind looks for ways to avoid it. But pay attention to me. It's not fun to do this. This isn't what drives you. This voice isn't trying to hurt you. This is help getting to you before something important is lost. You can feel the danger even if you can't see it yet. You can feel the stress. You can feel it getting narrow. Something seems to be changing in the background of your life. You've been telling yourself that there's still time. You've been telling yourself that later is going to be better, easier, and a better time to make changes. Lately, though, it's become a quiet spot where nothing happens. Later has slowed down healing. Later has put off obeying. Later has made things less urgent. Now is not a safe time to wait. Right now is the best time to call you because the response will still protect you. I can tell you're tired, not just in the outside, but also inside. I can see how many times you've tried to keep going without telling yourself what hurts. I can see how you've learned to get by without noticing the emptiness that follows you. I can see how you've started to think of being heavy as normal. But this was never supposed to be normal for you. You were not made to live a life that is dull, busy, or only half awake. You might be wondering what's up with my voice being so heavy and serious. It's because the truth matters when it does. When the price of being quiet is too high, love doesn't stay quiet. Instead of letting you keep talking about something that will one day break your heart, I'd rather cut you off now. Instead of seeing you suffer later, I'd rather make you feel bad now. A lot of people will not read this message because it asks too much of them. It tells them to be honest about their lives. It asks them to think about making changes. It tells them to give up control. And that seems dangerous in a world that puts comfort over truth. You are still here though because you're not happy with living on the surface. No matter how afraid you are to say it, you are still here because you want more. I know that you've been let down before. I know you've wished for change and been let down. You must have prayed, watched, and wondered if things would ever change. That's why a part of you wants to stay safe by not putting too much hope in things and not listening too deeply. You closed your heart to protect it, but that also cut you off from life. I don't want you to act like you're not scared. Please trust me enough to keep the door open. If Jesus keeps you steady through every storm, then He is your unshakable anchor. Right now is important because choices are being made in the background through your habits, thoughts, and silences. This is what you are becoming even if you don't know it. Plus, if you don't make a choice, you will drift anyway. At first, drift doesn't seem dangerous. It's simple, but it always ends up somewhere. I'm speaking now so you have time to decide where you want to go before momentum takes you somewhere you didn't mean to go. Do not forget how important it is to stay. If you stay, it means you want to listen. If you stay, you're ready to be honest. If you choose to stay, you're ready for the truth to touch places you have been protecting. A lot of people hear my voice, but not many stay long enough to change because of it. The fact that you are still here means that you are more ready than you think. As you listen, you might feel fear rising. Fear of giving up things you may need to. Fear of what could happen. Fear of what you will become if you give up. Fear, on the other hand, is not a sign to leave. It means that something real is going on. What has been holding you back is always in danger when you change. It's not dangerous because of that. It forces you to do it. I'm not here to judge you. That's not why I'm here to list your flaws. I'm not here to tell you how steep the fall is. I'm writing to let you know that I see you. I know where you are. And I will not leave you to feel lost or confused. I'm here because I can still make a different choice. You can still get back to being clear. You still have time to live the life you were meant to live. That's why we need to tell the truth now. I'm not trying to scare you. I want to save you. It's not that I don't want to wait, but that waiting has already cost you too much. Not because you don't have any more chances, but because you already have one. Follow me. Let me end my speech. Let me show you what to do next. This is not a coincidence. It will be very important what you do with it. No, my child, this is not a fun time. It is not something to consume, judge, or look at without thinking about it. It is a divine interruption that was put right in your path because things the way they were would cost you more than you know. I haven't come to your attention just to waste time. I stepped in to stop the flow. I cut you off because the place you were going was not safe, even if you didn't know it. And when I speak up, it's not to break up your peace. It's to protect what can still be saved. You need to fully grasp this. It wasn't a mistake that you saw this message. The timing was not by chance or chance alone. With great care, I planned this moment. But I saw this point in your life a long time ago. Before you stopped to listen and before you felt the pull to stay, I could feel the stress rising around you. I saw the decisions coming together quietly. There was less room to walk ahead. So I chose this moment because later would have been too late. A lot of people could see this message. Many people had the same chance, but only a few stayed. It's not because they are smarter or stronger, but because few people are ready. Being ready does not mean being perfect. It means being willing, being brave enough to stop when life wants you to move quickly, humble enough to listen when your comfort zone tells you to ignore it, and honest enough to say that something needs to change. A lot of people are too busy protecting their routines to let other people in. Truth slows them down, so they scroll past it. I broke the silence because it was no longer safe. There are times of the year when quiet keeps you safe, when waiting makes you stronger, and when quiet lets you grow. But that time of year is over for you. What used to keep you safe is now putting you at risk. Things that used to give you time are now taking it away. It wouldn't be patience to wait now. It would be loss. I won't stand by and watch you lose things that can still be kept. This is why this moment feels so urgent. Do not feel rushed out of fear. Feel rushed out of clarity. You can't see what I see yet. I can see that some doors are almost shut. I can see how quickly small delays can add up to long-lasting effects. I can see how easy it is for chance to pass when the truth is put off. I'm speaking up now because the truth needs to come out before the damage is too great to fix. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel, your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose. Join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. Please help our channel. The goal of our work is to make you happy and encourage you to follow God. You can help our mission by giving money through Super Thanks. You might want to downplay this moment by telling yourself that the only reason it's important to you is because of how you feel. But feeling goes away. The truth stays. It's not about how you feel now. This is where your life stands right now. I am not answering your question. When I sense danger, I act. I'm not making up time for you. Because you aren't being careful enough. I'm stepping in. You didn't expect this to happen. I know. That's just how rescue works. It doesn't usually show up when you want it to. It comes when you need to stop the flow of things. It would have cost more if I had waited until you were ready, comfortable, and asked for more information. When time is short, love doesn't wait for permission. A lot of people left because they didn't want to be interrupted. They'd rather have affirmation than criticism, comfort over clarity, and noise over the truth. They could feel how heavy this moment was and chose to run away from it. A choice seemed safe. There's no cost at first, but people slowly walk away from their fate when they avoid interruptions. They don't just give up on their goal at any time. Over and over, they pick ease of use until the way back seems too far. You stayed because you knew this interruption was from the right people. People in charge don't yell to impress. It talks because it has to. There's no deal between us. My goal is not to convince you. Since you can still answer, I know I'm telling you the truth. The people in charge don't ask if the truth is welcome. It gets it to them before they do any damage. This break is here because you have been moving for too long without stopping to readjust. You have been getting used to the imbalance instead of fixing it. You have been making up for drift instead of fixing it when you needed direction. You've been getting by on momentum, and moving forward without a plan always leads to loss. I had to cut you off because what you were quietly putting up with was starting to change you deeply. Things you thought were small habits. You called the delays temporary. You said the distance was normal because they didn't say who they were. None of these seemed dangerous. But erosion never makes itself known. It works slowly and quietly until the collapse feels sudden, even though it is something that has been building for a long time. This is why we need to tell the truth right now, because telling the truth later would lead to regret. Truth that is ignored now will come back to haunt you. I'm not making a threat. I'm telling you this. The fact that something is ignored doesn't change it. When consequences are put off, they don't go away. How much can still be saved is the only thing that has been put off. I know it's awkward to be interrupted. It stops the flow. It makes you stop. It needs your attention. No matter how much you tried to hide it, your comfort was already costing you something. I had to cut you off because going on without stopping would have been much worse than stopping. Now you're not here because you were looking for me. I came to find you, which is why you're here. That is the truth that many people find hard to accept. They want to think that they found me because they were wise or had insight. But grace brought this moment about. Grace doesn't wait for people to be ready. By stepping in, grace makes people ready. I didn't cut you off to bother you. I stopped you to straighten you up. To slow you down before you went too fast and hurt yourself. To wake you up before the numbness got worse. To talk while you could still hear well. There are times when I whisper. There are times when I wait. And there are times when I speak up because I think waiting would be rude. This moment has power because it comes with responsibility. What you do next is important. Not very striking at first, but having a deep effect. Breaks are like forks in the road. They make you choose. They show direction. They show you what's really important to you. We can't just stay. It's not enough to just listen. A response is needed. Do not make this interruption sound romantic. Do not let it fade into inspiration. This isn't meant to make you feel anything. It's meant to take you somewhere. Ignoring interruptions leads to regrets that can't be fixed. When interruptions are taken seriously, they turn into turning points. Maybe you still don't know what to do. You might still be scared. That doesn't mean I shouldn't do this. For this reason, the interruption works. Autopilot is being broken. It is breaking our illusion. It wants people to be honest. At first, those things always make me feel sick. Don't worry about getting everything right away. I want you to stop fighting what you already know. There's been something wrong. You know, you should have paid attention to something. You know that something needs to change. These quiet signals become clear at this point because of the break. Stay in the present. Do not skip this. Do not try to get back to normal too quickly. You didn't know how much more the normal was costing you. This break is an act of mercy dressed up as a matter of urgency. Protection that looks like trouble when there is still time to choose. Love that won't be quiet. I'm here because waiting would mean losing something that's hard to get back. I'm here because things are getting narrower. I'm here because truth that is delayed makes pain worse. I'm here because I love you too much to let you keep going without stopping. Even if stopping is the only way to save what's most important. This is the interruption from God. The event took place now because it is still important. Please understand that this message is not meant for everyone. And I will tell you right away why. It's not because I don't like people. I've never done that. I care about everyone. I'm calling everyone. I love all of them. However, not everyone loves the truth enough to stay when it speaks the truth. Some people don't like light that makes them look bad, not good. Truth itself is exclusive. So, this message is also exclusive. You can't take it in if your heart already knows it doesn't want to change. A lot of people could hear these words. A lot of people felt the push. A lot of people could feel how important this moment was. A lot of them left. They didn't go because it wasn't clear what the message was. It was clear, so they left. Something inside them knew that listening would cost them something. They didn't want to give up, so they left. People have always done this when the truth gets too close. They lied. They turned away and thought it wasn't a big deal. Some people left because they had made comfort their God. Comfort tells them to stay away from anything that could upset the peace, even if the peace is only temporary and fake. Comfort tells us that it's safer to stay the same than to change. Comfort tells the heart that just surviving is enough, that growth isn't necessary, and that there's no need to act quickly. When the truth hit them hard, comfort told them to run away, and they did. Some people left because they were too proud to be confronted. Pride doesn't always yell. It often hides behind being polite, smart, and in control. It's like I already know this even if their life doesn't show it. Being proud means saying this is not for me. There are times when the heart is restless. Pride won't sit down with the truth. It wants to be higher than it. And pride leaves when the truth doesn't bend. Say, God alone is enough for me. If that's what your heart wants. Some people left because they came to depend too much on themselves. It may seem strong, but self-sufficiency is one of the most dangerous things that keeps people from changing. It makes people think they can handle their pain, their confusion, and their future on their own. Self-sufficiency doesn't want to give up because it thinks giving up is weak. Self-sufficiency feels threatened when I talk to people in power. It doesn't give up control. Instead, it chooses distance. Some left because being busy has taught their hearts to run away from death. They're used to noise, movement, and having input all the time. Being still makes them feel bad. It's hard to focus. Reflection is hard work. They were told to slow down, listen and be present in this message. Something else told them to move on. They also listened to distraction because it doesn't ask for anything and promises comfort. Some left because they want to avoid being told what's wrong. When you can't see that correction is a way to keep you safe, it feels like a loss. They were afraid to hear what they already thought. They were afraid of being told what they had been trying to avoid. In the end, they picked not knowing what to do over being responsible, comfort over clarity, and escape over growth. Now, I'm not going to judge those who left. I'm going to explain something important to you. They thought that leaving would be okay. You always die. It doesn't feel like rebellion to run away from the truth very often. It seems like a choice. It feels like a choice. It makes sense to do it. Over time though, that pattern turns into distance, which turns into disconnection, which turns into loss. Pay close attention now. You stayed. That's important. You didn't stay because you're brave. You did it because you're honest. You didn't stay because you're strong, but because you knew something missing. You didn't stay because you think you know everything. You did it because you're honest enough to say you don't. Staying is not proof that you are good. It shows that you are ready. Being ready is hard to find because it requires being humble. You have to be brave to let truth question you instead of questioning truth. You have to be ready to feel bad for a while in order for change to start. Most people want answers that don't need to be changed. They want reassurance without having to take any action. You want me without giving up. That's why not everyone should do this. You might be curious about why I let some people go. Know this, truth doesn't force itself on you. Love doesn't force. I speak. I warn you. I invite. I don't drag, though. If you don't want to hear the truth, it can't change your heart. If someone leaves, it's not because I pushed them away. It's because they chose to keep something safe that they're not ready to share yet. Not everyone should read this message because some people don't want to be interrupted. Not everyone wants to wake up. Not everyone wants to stay the same even if it costs money. As opposed to healing, some people would rather be numb, stuck in a routine or free. Even though it costs a lot, I still let you make that choice. You're still here though because you know that being comfortable has already cost you too much. You know there are limits to being self-sufficient. You know that the break hasn't helped you get better. You know that being proud has never made things better. You understand that things can't stay the same. That awareness isn't a fluke. Things are about to change. Please don't get me wrong. You are not better than those who left just because you stayed. It makes you pay attention. Hearing the truth makes you responsible like received calls for a response. You are no longer ignorant if you are still here. You know, being aware always leads somewhere. People who left will carry on as they were. Things might not change for a while. It's so dishonest to ignore the truth in this way. Consequences don't always happen right away. They come slowly and quietly, and it's hard to figure out how they got here from when they left. That's why a lot of people think leaving wasn't a big deal. They can't see what was meant to happen. I see where you are now, my child, but you were there before. You've chosen to stay where you are because of the truth. You chose to listen while others ran away. That does not promise, but it does promise chance. Chance to change things. A chance to respond. Chance to take part in things that other people put off. Anyone who left is now hearing me. Even though they aren't listening, I didn't leave you. You left the moment behind. I will talk again when you are ready. But keep this in mind. Moments don't happen over and over again. Some doors shut quietly and open in a different way, which costs more. Ignoring the truth doesn't get rid of it. It just puts it off. Now I'm going to talk to you again. The one who stayed. Do not make your stay sound romantic. Do not take pride in it. It's not enough to just stay. It is not the end but the beginning. What you do next is important. Will you let this truth change you, or will you just take it in and stay the same? Not everyone can do this because not everyone is ready to answer. It's not as far away as you think. If you weren't still here, you wouldn't be. There is a part of you that knows this moment is important. You know that if you leave now, you'll end up back in the same empty place you were trying to escape. Stay in the present. Be honest. Keep your door open. You are not being left out of something. You are being asked to join something bigger. And that invitation doesn't come around very often. It's not because I put limits on it. It's because few people are ready to do what it takes. Not everyone should do this. It has never been. Truth has always been limited. Not because it is mean, but because it wants people to give up. My child, you are still here because you are ready to hear it. To my child, I speak to you now with kindness and honesty. Because love doesn't lie when the soul is tired. I can see more clearly into your soul than you can see into your own reflection. I can see how tired you are, but have learned to hide it. Not the kind of tiredness that comes from having a long day, but the kind that sets in when you've been strong for too long without getting any rest. You get up and go because you have to, not because you feel like living. You don't keep going because you have a purpose, but because stopping would be scary. This is not the life I gave you. You've been getting by, not living. You've been planning your days instead of living them. You know how to work when you're not feeling well, how to smile when you're tired, and how to talk when you're not in touch with your own heart. Your endurance is good, but if you don't change, it wears away at your soul over time. I did not make you just to survive. I said, I made you to live, feel, and walk in fullness, to know joy that doesn't go away when things change. I see the empty space you don't often name. It's not very loud. It's not screaming for attention. It just sits there like a dull pain you've learned to ignore. In the hopes that the pain will go away. You fill your time, mind, and schedule with things. It comes back when the noise stops though. It comes back when things are quiet. When your heart tells you that something is missing, you tell yourself to be thankful, not to whine and not to ask for more. But wanting something is not being thankful. Being hungry is not a sign of weakness. Because it means you were made for more than what you are living now. I get how confused you are. You used to feel more clear, sure, and grounded. Your thoughts are getting crowded now. Making choices feels heavier. It's hard to tell what to do. You don't understand why things that used to feel simple now feel forced. You're not sure if you've changed or if life has just worn you down. You think back on conversations and decisions and wonder when things stop being so simple. Being confused is not a sign of failure. You can't get rid of unanswered questions for too long without bringing them to light. There is a hunger inside you that you have tried to hide. You've given it things to do, habits to follow, and short-term comforts. But hunger can't be tricked. It can tell the difference between noise and food. That which is true, meaningful, connected, and real has been calling to your soul. If it didn't get those things, it became quiet. It wasn't happy, but it was tired of asking. You have prayed prayers that didn't seem to be heard. You said some things in a whisper and wondered if I heard them. You've asked for help, clarity, and a change. When you didn't get the answers you were hoping for, you learned not to be so bold when you asked, not because you stopped believing, but because being let down taught you to be careful. You learned how to pray without expecting too much, how to hope without getting too excited, and how to keep your heart from longing too much. I can see the pain you're in. Pain that doesn't seem to come from anywhere. That kind of pain that's hard to explain. The pain that comes from having hopes and dreams, dashed and slowly realizing that life hasn't turned out the way you thought it would. You cry in private because you don't think it's okay to be sad. Some people may tell you that you have a lot to be thankful for. You do. But being thankful does not take away grief. They can both live in the same heart. There's a part of you that thinks life should be better than this. You felt it. Even if you haven't said it out loud, more than just normal, not just staying alive. It's not just getting through the week. That belief has been flickering in your mind like a dim light. Sometimes bright, sometimes you can hardly see it. You were afraid that admitting it would make you unhappy or not thankful. On the other hand, that belief did not come from nothing. That came from the truth of how you were made. You were not made to live without being amazed. Meaninglessness is not something you were made to feel. You were not made to just get by. You're not flawed because you're hungry. It shows that there was a purpose. Perhaps something more important is calling you back to life. I can see that you have learned to keep yourself safe by not expecting as much. You told yourself that you would feel less pain if you didn't expect as much. You will not be let down if you want less. You shrunk your dreams. You lowered your voice in prayer. You changed how you thought about what was possible. The plan helped you deal with sadness, but it kept you from being happy. You didn't realize it, but protection turned into limitation. I can see how heavy the weight of unanswered questions is on your spirit. There were questions about where you were going, when, and whether you missed something important. There are questions like, are you behind schedule? Are you still on the right track? Is this the life you were meant to live? You try not to think about these things too much, but they come up when you're by yourself. They rise when there are fewer things to do. They make you think that your soul is still looking. My child, this doesn't surprise me at all. I've seen how you get through this without making a fuss or demanding attention. I've seen how strong you are. I've seen how calm you are. I have seen how patient you are. I have seen how tired you are from having to handle everything by yourself, though. You were never supposed to handle this by yourself. You were never meant to hide your hunger in order to stay alive. That's not what I see when I look into your soul. I see a desire. I see being worn out as a sign of depth, not weakness. Hearts that aren't strong don't hurt like this. Without a reason, souls don't hunger this much. Even the pain you're feeling is proof that you were made for something important, alive, and connected to me. You might feel bad about being empty when you think you should be happy. I'm not upset with you, though. I'm getting close. I have to talk to you now because your soul has reached a point where you can't ignore it any longer. Being empty is not a punishment. It's an invite. It wants you to stop surviving and start living again. You've been strong for a long time. You have changed. You have been strong. You know how to keep going even when your heart is heavy. But strength that isn't renewed turns into strain. And stress that isn't dealt with leads to collapse. I am talking to you now because I want to fix things, not tell you about them. There's something important I want you to hear. You're not hurt. That's not a fail. You're not thankful. You're hungry. And being hungry means you're still alive even if you're tired. Being hungry means that you still want hope and can be happy. It would be more dangerous to be empty. It would be more worrying if people didn't care. But you're not interested. Your hurting and pain can be eased. Lord, right. If you are ready to let go and follow Him, I give up everything I have. Share this video too. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus's plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now. Join the family and see your heavens.